Hi, this is Ka, and for this week, I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to do a plan with me because I'm running out of ideas of what to talk about. So I'm going to start a new series called the Traveler's Notebook System, and for this week, it'll be about how I compartmentalize. Next week, it might be about like the TN system, how I plan, something like that. But yes, but before we begin, I wanted to talk about the cover. It's different. I saw Stella's SJ Plans video, and then that made me want to go into a Chic Sparrow cover, so I changed. But the key point here is it's a Pocket Plus cover with A6 inserts. And I was wondering why I really liked my A6 VDS that much. And obviously the big chunky strap, but it was also because of the fact that the inserts, they stayed like very flush against the cover itself, the edges. So that made me think, I might try the Pocket Plus cover with A6 inserts, and the inserts are really flush against the edges, and I really like that, so I thought that was worth a mention. And I have my pilot vanishing point because before, like, I don't really take good care of my fountain pens, so that was why, I think. But the inks were not coming out that well, so that did not, like, I didn't want to use this because the ink was not coming out that well. But then because the platinum carbon ink is my favorite black because it's really black. But then I had heard that you should not put that into fine nib like EF nibs because it can clog up your nib, and putting it into an expensive one like this was not advisable. I heard that, but I searched on Reddit, and they said, like, some people said that they did have carbon ink in their vanishing points, and that as long as you flush out the fountain pen every 2 weeks, it should be fine. So I tried it, and it writes really well. The ink flows really well. So I've been liking it, so that's why it's on the planner. But yes, then now going to the actual topic of today's video, how I compartmentalize. It's so the TN system itself is like a leather cover with strings in the middle, where you can put inserts on the strings. That's the TN system, right? And you can have different purposes for each of the inserts, or you could have the same purposes for the inserts. You could just add additional space for, maybe if you're writing a book, you can just work on one notebook and then add another when you run out of space in that one. It could be for the same purpose, or you could have separate purposes for each notebook, each insert. And I think that's why it works for me, having separate purposes for each insert, because that allows me to compartmentalize. And that was what I was struggling with when I was in a bullet journal. Everything was just in one book, and it's hard to find. It just becomes like a black hole where everything is together, and it's hard to find. So I think the TN system, the fact that I could have separate inserts for separate purposes and they are very clearly divided, I think that's why it works. So the different compartments that I need, it's first, right now, because I'm in this stage of life, I need a separate time schedule insert for my freelance work schedule. So I need this just because I'm in this place in life. So it might change later, but right now I need a time schedule insert. And but the most important part, I think, is my reference insert. And ideally I would have a separate reference insert and a separate health insert, but because when I was setting up the VDS A6 planner, I realized I had planned, before the planner cover actually came, I had planned to have a separate reference insert and a separate health insert, but when it came, I realized that I couldn't fit everything into that planner. So I do wish I had lengthened the strap, but it was during the short shipping period, so I couldn't really add any changes. But yeah, but I couldn't fit everything, like a separate reference insert and a separate health insert, so I combined it into here. The beginning part, it's the front part, it's the reference insert, and the second part, it's the health insert. But because, you know, this has a lot of pages, it's okay, it's fine, but ideally I would have separate reference inserts and separate health inserts. But that's reference and health, that's the most important part, I think, of my planner. I need to have that, and I just added this like another reason why I moved here, because I couldn't fit another insert, but I needed like a dumping ground, like somewhere I could just scribble when I was if I wanted to take notes during a conversation, because I was in a situation where I had to take notes, scribble notes during a conversation, but I didn't have like a good place in my planner, so I just wanted to add a separate insert where I could just scribble notes. And I realized the importance of always carrying post-its with me in my planner, so I added the post-its. But yeah, I added that just to jot down like random scribbles notes during conversations. And then this would be the monthly, like the main planner insert. So I would have to have a monthly and a daily, I think. Wait, it's a bit hard to call this like a daily, because it's and it's hard to call this a weekly too. I don't know what you would call it, daily, weekly, daily, but it's what, 7 days on 4 pages, right? So I think monthly I need to have, because that's how I forward plan, but I also need a daily, because I need to jot down, I need a clear like structure of what I need to do that day, like a clear list of what I need to do that day. I need to list it out, like write it down. So I need a monthly and a daily, but this is also, a weekly is also good to just to get the overview of what events I have for the week, what I have coming up, anything I need to pay or things like that. So I really like this overview as well, weekly overview. So the main insert, the main planner insert, is also one compartment that I need. So yeah, these are the compartments that I need, and yeah, I really need all of them separated. And did I talk? Okay, wait. Okay, so I didn't talk about this, but if I look back at what I used last year, I used the Hobonichi Weeks, and then I used the Moleskine Daily, and then the A6 Muji Undated. And for the Hobonichi Weeks, I did not use a TN system. In the notes pages at the back, I did sort of write things I have currently in my reference insert, but it was just part of the notes pages, and it wasn't very well divided, so, and I didn't have a lot of space at the back, so I think I did run out of pages. And back then I did not have a need for like a big health section, but that need arose like when I was using my Moleskine. So I think that's when I added the Kahir notebook for my health insert, and I did have like things I have in my reference insert, like information in my reference insert, I added that to the Kahir notebook. And again, but I did not have a lot of space in the Kahir notebook. My work schedule for the Hobonichi weeks, it was also inside the weekly pages, and then for the Moleskine as well, it was inside the daily pages. But then towards the end, when I was using the Moleskine, I started using the Hobonichi Weekly Supplement for the work sessions, so I did compartmentalize that. But then when I went into the A6, I sort of developed the system that I have right now, a separate weekly supplement for the freelance work sessions, and then a reference insert. And then I think I was still using the Kahir notebook for when I was using the A6 last year. Not sure, I need to check my Instagram, but yes. But it was when I developed the system, and I had the Muji undated for like the actual main planner. So I think that was my process. Last year was a process of realizing that I needed a TN system. And moving forward, I think even though I'm really obsessed with changing sizes right now. So right now I'm in the A6, but I did mention I have a standard TN setup already ready. And before I was a bit obsessed with the B6 Jiwon Techo. I'm using it for my to jot down freelance work sessions, notes, and content. So I'm using that, but it's not like my main EDC. So for my main EDC, I'm obsessed with changing sizes. I don't know why, but I am. But I think I'll stay in the TN system. I always need them compartmentalized. So yeah, I just wanted to do like a in-depth video of how I compartmentalize, because I think that's the key essence of my system. The fact that I have separate inserts for different purposes. And next week, I think I will do, the video on how I plan inside this TN system. So I hope this was interesting. I hope it was useful, and I'll be back next week with another video. Thank you so much for watching.